All right, we're live again. Again. I'm going to turn this camera around to Nicole Yang from Boston.com, who's laughing at us and our technical difficulties. All right, so again, John Corrales, Tom Westerholm of MassLive.com here at the Fiserv Forum, ready for Bucks Celtics Game 1.
So we're gonna have like a bit of a time crunch here. So let's do it this way. Let's each talk about two things that we think are going to be really important in this Game 1.
Like, two things.
We've had a week to break everything down. We've had a week to just really overthink this series. Let's each take two things that we can, sort of really break down that we think are going to help decide these first couple games of the series.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, I've been harping on the Horford-Lopez thing, so I'll just go with that at first. And we'll say whether Al Horford's impact on Brook Lopez will be real. And before we were talking about thinking and overthinking and all of this stuff. Really what it comes down to is, can Al Horford be such a significant mismatch for Brook Lopez that it has to significantly change how the Milwaukee Bucks play defense? The Milwaukee Ducks, that's a good one.
The Milwaukee Mighty
Ducks. Yeah. Can Al Horford significantly change how the Milwaukee Bucks play defense?
Yeah.
And if he can, then that's a big deal, because Brook Lopez is a major factor in how they defend and why they're so good at forcing teams into mid-range jumpers.
Right.
So that's the first thing that I'm looking at. What's your first thing?
I think for me the bigger one is going to be how the Celtics attack mismatches. They're going to be trying to create, beyond just the Horford one, obviously. They're going to be trying to attack it everywhere. Like, they're going to be trying to get Tatum onto like good guys that he can good guys for him to take off the dribble. They're going to be trying to create favorable stuff for Kyrie. And honestly, the Bucks don't necessarily, especially with Malcolm Brogdon out, they don't have a lot of guys who are necessarily built for stopping these guys who are great in isolation. And I think that when you look at Tatum, when you look at Kyrie, and even when you look at Hayward a little bit in that last series, when he would get a favorable switch, he would back that thing out to half court, charge forward, stop on a dime, shoot a three, get all the way to the rim, get a foul. I mean, I think getting those mismatches and really attacking them hard is going to be the key to, at very least, the first couple of games before teams sort of have a chance to react.
I would say my number two thing is, how well can they limit Giannis from getting to the rim?
Yeah.
Everything I've heard from them all week long is how much he's a monster in the paint. They're all talking about in the paint. Can they build that wall around the perimeter that prevents him from getting all the way to the rim? If he can get to the rim regularly, then the Celtics are screwed, because then that's going to cause the defense to collapse, and then he's going to start to kick out. I was watching these, Brogdon's not playing in games 1 and 2, but I was watching his threes from this season. I'm watching Chris Middleton threes from this season, and it's amazing how many of those are Giannis assists on kickouts, driving kicks. So if the Celtics can keep Giannis away from the rim as much as possible, the better they are at that. Even if he scores and he gets those jumpers, or if they can just keep him from just doing chin-ups all game long, then they'll be in a good position to limit the other players around, because really when the Bucks are at their best, it's not just Giannis. It's everybody that gets involved.
I agree with that, and especially, and I mean, that comes back to Horford. That's why he's the key to this whole series, is because obviously they think they can get like a big advantage against Lopez, and obviously he's as good a Giannis defender as exists in the NBA. So I think last year he was the most important Celtic, and even while Tatum and Brown were really breaking out, and even while Rozier was playing really well, Horford was the most important Celtic last year. I don't know that that's necessarily the case this year with Kyrie in the mix, but I do think in this series, I think that might be the case. I think he is, at the very least, he's as important as anybody else. I will be really curious to see the starting lineup. I'll be curious to see how they go about this. I don't think they are going to start Baines. I feel like
I would agree with that.
I just don't think that makes much sense. It gives Lopez a place to hide. I think that any Marcus Morris, Gordon Hayward, even Shemi Ojeleye, those are guys who space the floor a little bit better. They're switchable guys. I could see any number of those options happening. I could also see Jaylen Brown not starting in this series. He's great with the second unit. He was good in the starting lineup in the last series, but I do think that there is a reasonable case to be made. Put him back in the second unit. Maybe put Hayward in his place. Maybe maybe go Hayward, Mook, have like those 5 guys. I think Brad doesn't like to talk about the starting lineups. He doesn't feel like the starting lineups is as important as other rotations and the ending lineup. But I personally think that the starts in these games are going to matter.
Yeah. I agree with Brad generally.
Right, yes.
But in this particular series, in this particular matchup, the start is super important.
Agreed.
I don't think, and I've seen the case to be made for Hayward starting. I don't think Hayward starts because the 2 reasons that Brad has talked about not wanting to get. I guess that's not a good reason. They don't want to get their key players down the stretch into any kind of early foul trouble.
Yep.
And you don't want to burn a couple of early fouls on Hayward trying to guard Giannis or trying to guard Lopez in the post. So I think maybe it's not the best idea. And also, with Marcus Smart out,
Yep.
you need that ball handler coming off the bench. And I think that really becomes a major determining factor in whether Hayward starts or not. I think Hayward comes off the bench just so they can have that other ball handler. So I think Mook, again, Shemi Ojale is a guy that maybe he doesn't start, but a guy that can buy you 10 minutes in a game, and you throw 2-3 fouls Giannis's way, but at least he's a big guy. One thing I've brought up in podcasts is just fouling the hell out of Giannis early. Between Mook, Baines coming in off the bench, Shemi, see if you can wear him down.
Yeah.
If you can wear him down, maybe in the 4th quarter you get him tired to a point where maybe you take a little bit of lift off of him, and he's not quite as effective. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but
Yeah, it's worth trying.
all right, that's it. We're gonna wrap things up here. There's the buzzer. So, thanks for watching. Read our stuff on masslive.com. Go to masslive.com/Celtics. Bookmark it. Go there all the time. I'm writing there. He's writing there. We're writing a lot of stuff. So we'll see you